Rev up your engine! My oh my, look what happened to this Camry. Look at this hood. What could have possibly done this? Well, the owner admits it's his own fault. He was working on it, he didn't close the hood right, and it flipped up and hit the windshield and bent the heck out of it. But you notice, it's still there. And it still serves its purpose. And I mean, hey, if it was me, I would never admit it to that. I would say, well, you know, I got in a meteor shower, got hit by a few of them going down the road. But as for the car, hey, we're going to analyze it, show you what a Camry can do. You can see the hood was hammered, but check it out. This is the same windshield. The only thing it did years ago was put this little crack in the windshield. You want to talk about a solid built windshield. If your windshield does get shattered, you're better going OEM, the original equipment. The Chinese made replacement ones come from other countries. They're often crap. You put one in, it's not going to be safe like this. It would have shattered. Little rocks will crack them, then you got to replace them. If you're going to replace it, get an OEM one. Don't let your insurance company tell you to put one of these cheap Chinese ones in. They don't hold up. And while we're talking about windows, look at the sunroof. Got duct tape on it. Well, this is an aftermarket one. He bought the car used. Somebody put this in. This is not a Toyota one. Whoever had it put in, he was driving down the road and the whole thing flew off. He had this replaced and he doesn't care what it looks like. He just put duct tape on it so it doesn't leak and come off anymore. This isn't factory set up here. This is rigged in. And it happened in the winter. Snow was coming in on him, so he's got another one put in and he doesn't use it. You can't blame the car on that at all. Now, we'll look under the hood. It still works. And the little guide still holds it up. Okay, it's a 4-cylinder, variable valve timing. These are great engines. This is a 2002. This isn't one of the oil burning ones. This doesn't burn any oil, has plenty enough horsepower. And if you're a cheapskate like me, that's what you're gonna buy. The V6 engines do have a tendency of wearing out faster when they get older. Got twice as many moving parts, bank 1, bank 2, going back and forth. It's a V instead of a straight. And you're gonna get better gas mileage with this. You still can get 30 miles a gallon on this thing on the highway. You're not gonna get that on the V6 engines. Plus, the V6 engines have a tendency of wearing the transmissions out faster because they have more torque. If you're thinking about buying one of these, you might road test the 4-cylinder one first. You'll probably be totally happy with the acceleration that they have. Unless you're planning on towing stuff, which most people don't tow stuff with the Camry that weighs much. You're better off with the 4-cylinder engine. As you can see, it's on the East Coast, so there's a lot of corrosion, but it's just superficial corrosion. It's not really going to hurt anything. Aluminum just corrodes. You'll see all these bolts will start rusting. That's just the way that it goes. You got bare metal, it's going to rust. It doesn't affect it. What affects it is the frame. So we'll go underneath. Check out the frame. Solid as can be. Even back in 2002, Toyota knew how to rust-proof cars. Now, there's a little rust on the side. Massachusetts car. You can always get a little rust here or there. Look. Nothing outrageous. It still sounds solid. You could sand it down, cut out the metal, put some more metal and fix it if you wanted to. But he didn't really care. You can see right at the top. He doesn't really care. This is a transportation car. He bought this thing for like $5 grand, born 6 years ago. So the guy's got $800-something a year for driving this car. Hey, they claim a brand new car costs you at least $5-6 grand a year. So he's certainly making out like a gangbuster. And it's not like he got lucky he's the only one. They sold millions of these Camrys, and they sold them because they can run forever. Yet, they're not an econobox car. They still got plenty of room in the front and in the back seat. And they got humongous trunks. There you go. There's all kinds of room. Hey, you could even pull a Jeffrey Dahmer if you wanted to, I guess. Now, he's worried about a little jiggle at higher speeds in a transmission. We're going to road test that. My wife's Toyota Cressida that she had ages ago did the same thing. It would jiggle at 40, 45. You'd feel it. But it stayed that way. I sold it, and the other guy drove it for years and still did it. So that's not that big of a deal. So we'll hook up a scan tool just to see the basic data, see if there's anything squirrely. Now, as we hook it up, the owner just told me it's never left him stranded. It always started up. That's how these things are. He changed the oil regularly. He never misses oil changes. You do that with a Toyota, and you're pretty much home free for quite some time. But I always like looking at the data of these old things just to see what kind of shape they're in. It's got the regular old seats. You know, people have whacked them and got them dirty, but they're still in one piece. The center console's typical. Toyota and Lexus make crappy center consoles, and it's coming apart. He put duct tape. He probably can put some more on. He doesn't care. He upgraded the stereo because the stereos were a bit on the crappy side. Got the obligatory Toyota steering wheel cover because their steering wheels are somewhat lacking. They crack, and you can just cover them up with stuff. He went the cheap route with one. I went with a $110 leather one I laced up. But either way it works. And here we go. Knows what it is. We'll do an automatic scan. Does a lot less because it's an older car, but it's going to do what we need. See, instead of a whole bunch of systems, there's only 5 it checks. But it's checking them out, and what does it say? There's no trouble codes. Isn't that typical? It's a Toyota. We'll start it up. Starts right up. Turn it off. Then turn it on. It's an old system, so you have to do squirrely things. And we'll look at live data. Now we can start it up again. Here we go, looking at the live data. Everything so far is complete. An important thing to look at is the long-term fuel trim. And it is 0.74. Perfect is 0.00. So this is over 99% efficient, even though it's got 190,000 miles on it. I gotta say, I'm probably operated, I don't know, 80% efficiency now that I just had my 69th birthday. Well, this thing is operated over 99% efficiency, so you can't complain about that. That's why people buy these things. As we keep going, the misfire data, 0, doesn't have any misfire. Counts for all the cylinders, you can see it's all 0. All in all, it's excellent shape, but he was worried a little bit at the transmission, so we'll take it for a road test. Now we're gonna check it. Okay, when it gets up higher, we'll see if we can feel anything. All right, here we go. Still pretty smooth. Okay, now take your foot off the gas. Well, I didn't feel anything there. I wait for a couple minutes to see what's going on, but he's been in this thing so long, so many years, 6 years, that he knows it inside out. And you'll often get a little shift around 40 or so that'll be a little bit jiggly because the shift solenoids get old. He did change the fluid recently. He's done it regularly, so it's not dirty fluid or anything. They'll often do that as they wear. And unless it trips a code for the shift solenoid, my advice, live with it. If it trips the code, yeah. Try a shift solenoid. A lot of times it'll fix it. If it doesn't, it would be the actual gear going out. At higher speeds, now I can hear his aftermarket sunroof. Normally, a Camry won't be making noise like that, but that's the aftermarket sunroof. I don't know why somebody put them in, especially up north. What good is the sunroof up north? Do you hear wheel bearings? No, the only noise, like I say, is the aftermarket sunroof, so maybe never put an aftermarket sunroof. He bought it that way. What can he do? But even the bearings are still working good. And a guy tried to sell them all 4 struts. And watch this when we stop. I'll show you what a line of baloney that was. Now, there's lots of ways to test the struts. We are on a highway, and it didn't really ride bad. But you can do a quick push, and you can see it just comes back up. It's not bouncing around. And the back ones are pretty much the same. Look. Do they bounce? No. When they're worn up, they'll be like a Porky Pig cartoon. Boink, boink, boink. They're not even near that. But a lot of scams out there these days. He had the front struts replaced 3 years ago. And the guys that told him, well, we should change them again, they had a deal where there was this lifetime warranty, but only on the part, not on the labor. So they still want hundreds and hundreds of dollars to change it. So don't get suckered in by a bunch of these lifetime warranties, because it's just a reason for them to get in and start selling you stuff. And in this case, it doesn't really need them anyway. People just want to sell you stuff these days, which is one reason they sell a lot of Camrys, because they don't break very often. And if you stay away from dishonest people and you're happy with the way it rides, your tires don't wear out weird, it runs, it doesn't burn oil, you can stay away from mechanics. Change the oil yourself and you'll never have to see another mechanic, probably for years if you buy one of these things. Once they get you in, they start selling you stuff. Just like you even buy a new car, they'll say, you got lifetime oil changes free at the dealer. Every time you bring it in for an oil change, they're gonna try to sell you something. So, best to stay away from the free oil changes and either go to a place that you trust that does oil changes, or if you're really smart, do it yourself. Then you can save money, do it right, and you don't have to worry about people trying to sell you things that you don't need. And consider this baby's lived in Massachusetts, the home of rust. That frame is solid as a rock. Even in 2002, Toyotas knew how to undercoat them. These aren't Toyota bolts, but they're rusting and leaching down on the license plate because they're cheaply made bolts to hold the license plate in, and that part's rusting. But is this rusty? No, just the cheap bolts that they put in here to put the license plate on. So you're looking for a minimum maintenance car that still rides quite well. If you're like me and you're a cheapskate, just like he is, he doesn't want to waste his money on unnecessary stuff. Don't buy a hybrid. Don't buy an electric car. Because when those things get to be as old as this thing, they'll probably all be in junkyards because it costs too much money to replace a hybrid battery or even more for an electric vehicle battery. They're not going to hold up like these things are. And I doubt if we're not going to be selling gasoline in this country for decades to come, regardless of what the bandwagon electric people are saying. Jump on our bandwagon. Come on, come on. Well, when the electric wheels start falling off, we can all laugh at them. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.